hurricane out there, and
Really?
I lose my signal on my phone, and I'm like, I can't do this with a signal that goes in and out.
Where in Florida are you?
Daytona Beach.
Oh, nice area. Very nice area. Yeah, I lived in Orlando for a little while. Actually, Winter Park, I should say.
I see. Is his name showing up at the bottom?
Yeah. Yeah. I can change that for you if you want. It's not a big deal on my end.
I guess so people don't get confused.
Okay. I'll change it for you. All right.
Yeah, Doug is Craven Moore Grog is his pirate name,
Nice.
and he's the captain of the Leviathan. That's I got to remember where the camera's at.
I can't wait to hear more about it, honestly. Like, I was excited. I love it.
It's been a unique life.
Wow. Please, by all means, tell me more. How did you get into like the pirate life, I guess? I mean, for lack of a better phrase, I guess.
Oh, it started probably 18 years ago. I been a parrot head, and I've gone to concerts. I think the first time I saw Jimmy Buffett was probably 1985. He still had the long blonde hair, and he opened up for James Taylor. And so, have you ever been to a Parrot Head concert?
I have not. I've always wanted to go though.
Oh man, it's I don't know how to describe it. It becomes a city for a day. People bring in above ground pools and set them up. They build tiki bars, and I get tired of doing all that stuff and decided I wanted to be a pirate. And when I started the Captain Mango, I decided I didn't want it to be a Halloween costume. I wanted to be an authentic pirate. So I probably have, give or take, $5,000 in my outfit. And of course, it didn't all start out, it was buy a piece here and buy a piece there and go to a Renaissance festival and I see something I like. And my goal in life back then was to be on a big screen at a Buffett concert. And over the years, oh, gee, I've been on the big screen, I don't know how many times. Probably the Coral Reefer Band. I've met all of them. Some of them I call friends. I've never met Jimmy yet. He knows who I am. When I used to go to concerts, I'd spend up to like $1,500 just to get a front row seat. And so when he'd sing a Pirate Looks at 40, something like that, I'd always get a point from him because I was always at the concerts around DC and Baltimore. But I've never got to meet the guy. And that became a goal in life. But I've been on the big screen, I don't know how many times with him, but it's probably been 6 years ago now. I went to a Buffett concert back home. And a lot of people in the tailgating said, "Are you coming back to see Kenny Chesney?" And I said, "Well, he does some Allen type music back then." I said, "But it's country. I like him." And he said, No, you need to come back as a pirate." So the first time I ever went, it was a little strange back then. Now you can't tell the difference between Buffett tailgating and Kenny Chesney tailgating. But back then it was a lot of cowboy boots and cowboy hats, But I had a ticket in like the fifth row, and I knew as soon as they dropped the curtain that Kenny saw me because he goes over to his guitar player and points out at me, and they both laugh, and I'm like, well, that was worth the price of admission right there, And it was probably halfway through the concert. And I have a security guard come up to me and he goes, "You got to come with me." And I said, "Hey, what did I do?" And he goes, "Just come with me." And it was a guard that I knew from going to this venue. And we're walking up through the venue. And he goes, "You're not going to believe this." He said, "But Kenny wants you up on stage." And so he takes me back through the tractor trailers, and I end up going out on stage with Kenny. And to be honest with you, I can't tell you what was said. I can't tell you it. Walking out, they told me I was off the side of the stage and said, "Okay, Kenny's introducing you. Go out." And I walk out, and it's amazing because this venue probably seats 25,000 people, maybe 30,000 with the lawn seating.
Wow.
And so I don't know what to do when I go on stage. I just go out and walk across the stage like this. And it just goes from seeing 200 people to 1,000 people to 5,000 to it was, I was overwhelmed. I'd never been on anything like that.
That's amazing. It's got to be like an endless sea of people just looking out from there.
How, and a lot of them do, but how entertainers don't get so big headed, I have no idea, because they, for 2.5 hours, they can control those people. They can make them stand up and cheer. They can make them sit down. They can do whatever they want to. And so I have no idea what was said out there. I had a cousin in the audience, and she said I did okay, but that I left a little too soon. And I probably, my thinking was I didn't want to overstay my welcome,
Well, so your character is Captain Mango, as you call him, right?
Yeah, Captain Mango was the original pirate character.
Oh, okay. And what is it now? Is it different now, or?
Well, I still do Captain Mango,
Okay.
but between that and now, about just over 5 years ago, I had an actress model from DC area contact me and wanted to do a photo shoot with me. And we did the photo shoot, and she said, "You need to be in the movies." So I said, "Okay, give me a shot." So she got me a 1-day walk on a movie called MILFs versus Zombies.
That's awesome.
And I was a pirate zombie, and ended up, I worked 10 more weekends on that movie as 10 different zombies.
Nice.
And so that started my movie career. I've been in probably about 35, 36 movies now. And not as a pirate, as with this, I tell people with this, my age and this face, I don't get romantic leads anymore. But I'm the serial killer, or the strange guy next door, or the odd uncle, or something like that. And I did a movie 3 years ago called Wrestle Massacre, and I've been a wrestling fan since I was probably 5-6 years old. And so to get to work with these big name wrestlers was a thrill to begin with. And I got to talking to a promotion up outside of Allentown, Pennsylvania, and told them, that how much I loved wrestling. I'd like to be involved in it, but I've never been physical enough to think about being a professional wrestler. I said, but I'd love to try being a manager. So I showed them Captain Mango, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll give you a try, but we want a heel." And I told them, I said, "Well, I can't make Captain Mango a heel. He's been a good guy for so long." So I came up with a character, nastier looking, basically the same costume, just I wear all black, and I wear black eye makeup, and I put this put a rubber band in this. And this Saturday, I got 2 shows to do. I'll have chains running from my nose ring to, just to make me nasty looking. And that character's name is Captain Decapitate.
Nice. Oh, very nice. I like it. And you were actually in. I've seen a few of your movies. I went to the world premiere of one just recently, and I want to give a shout out to our friends, the filmmakers behind Remnants.
Okay.
Which is Mark has been on the show, and Matt's been on the show a few times. So
cool.
It's pretty cool. And I know I've seen you in Bigfoot. I've seen you in. I know you're coming out with Bloody Summer Camp soon, and that's gonna be.
Yeah, I got a small role in that. I can't say anything. Can't say any. In fact, I should probably say I'm not in that movie.
Fair enough. But they put you on an IMDb, so they have to.
Yeah.
you now.
They know I'm just an angry old man, but it's my role in it is kind of different.
Nice. I always love that. But no, so you got the acting bug now. Are you? I know a lot of your shoots have been up here in the DC area, the DMV area. And you are also acting down in Florida, correct?
Well, I have a house here in Ormond Beach.
Nice. Okay.
So I just last week I did a job, then I found out a job last Thursday was going to get set back. So I'm like, packed my car up, grabbed my dog, and headed down here for a week. Like I said, I came down to do this podcast with you, and I knew I had to be one place or the other. I couldn't be traveling tonight. And I guess it was Sunday night, I realized I don't have high-speed internet at my house down here because I'm only down here maybe 6-8 weeks a year. Okay. So I don't have TV or high-speed internet or anything there. And so I was scrambling for a place I thought, worst comes to worst, I'll go rent a hotel room and set my computer up. And I did bring along some movie lights so I could have lit myself up. But then I thought about Doug and setup he has here, and I can't beat this. I just walked in here and sat down, and here we are. It's ready to go.
Well, it is appreciated that you put that much care and effort into the show, and I do appreciate having you on. And so I have to ask, with the movies you're doing. I mean, if you look on my wall behind me, I'm a very big horror fan, and you are Captain Decapitate. So, are you a big fan of the horror genre yourself?
Before I got into it 5 years ago, I can't say I was a fan. I mean, I knew, the big horror movies. I saw them, but I can't say I was a real fan. Even up to this day, they still laugh at me because I have to really think about who Jason and Michael Myers is. If I think about it, I can tell you who's who, and who wore the hockey mask and who wore the William Shatner mask. But right off the top of my head, I can't tell you.
That's fair, and I am not going to hold you to it. But I will say, coming into acting, and I just give you a little background on me. I was a filmmaker for a long time, kind of bounced around. I lived in Florida for a while, LA, the whole nine, and I got out of it by choice. And they didn't shoot me up and spit me out. Luckily, it's like I'm gonna. I ended up in Virginia, which I love. I just love this area. But I have to say, horror for me, I do love horror movies, but it's my favorite genre to work on because it is the most fun, and it seems like everybody else is having the most fun.
Yeah.
I think that's what it makes me appreciate it more.
Yeah, I tell you a story I tell people as Captain Mango. Let me see, we're in 2020. 10 years ago, I bought a $90,000 custom built chopper, and it was all pirate. It had a $15,000 pirate paint job on it. And so for 2-3 years, I went around and did bike shows, and I had girls that worked with me as my winches and mermaids. And I thought, this is the most fun I've ever had in life. This is the most fun I'm ever going to have in life. Then once I got in making horror movies, I'm like, no, this, motorcycles were this fun, but horror movies are this much fun,
Yeah.
I tell people, once I get into professional wrestling, though, it's like the fun levels up here.
I bet, absolutely.
There's nothing like it. I mean, because in doing movies, you may do your part in a movie and not see anything for 3 years. Yeah. Whereas with professional wrestling, it's immediate. It's one-on-one. And when I first starting out, if you don't get the microphone, you can only piss people off one-on-one. Once you get the microphone, you can go after the whole audience. And so I've been getting the I've been getting the microphone lately, so I can go up there and just one thing that I actually started. I pretend that I hate being called Captain Crunch. And so I'll have people bring boxes of cereal and banners and dolls and just irritate me with all the Captain Crunch stuff. So I'm like, no, if you don't stop it, I'm out of here. And of course they scream louder. That's what promoters want to hear is noise.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
that's got to be so much fun. Just great characters. And you do that here in the DMV as well?
Pardon?
You do that here in the DMV as well?
Yeah.
It's okay. Well, any certain promotion, we'll give them a shout out so that way.
Well, we're just starting a promotion. In fact, this Friday night was supposed to be our first show, but the virus put an end to that. It's called Voltage Wrestling. That's going to be basically in the Hagerstown area, but we're going to work in West Virginia, and Maryland, and Pennsylvania. But I work for Outbreak Wrestling. I work for EPPW Wrestling. I work for EC. Oh boy, they're going to kill me. I mess this up. SCWA.
Nice. Okay.
Or SCWA out in basically Wheeling, West Virginia.
Nice. Very cool.
And I've worked a couple other ones. I forget. There's so many little letter names. I get them mixed up.
I don't blame you. I do myself, and I love my wrestling, but it can get confusing with all the promotions.
And I had, it's funny how not only with professional wrestling, but a lot of things in life, until you get into it, you don't realize how much of it there is out there. Yeah. I mean, within Hagerstown, I'd say within a 2-3 hour drive from Hagerstown, I probably have, oh man, I'm just guessing, 25 promotions I could probably work for. There's a lot of them. There's like 4 or 5 just concentrated down in the West Virginia area.
Yeah, that's big. It's a big area for it. This whole area is, and the wrestling fans are great. They're so much fun to work with, and I think they're understanding. I'm not sure it was years ago, but I think now that understanding that we're entertainers, and they accept that. So. Yeah, you don't. It's not. There's no more kayfabe. You don't really have to live it as much anymore.
No.
Loosened up quite a bit for the performers, the entertainers to.
Yeah, because I'll go out as Captain Decapitate and completely have them mad at me when I leave, and then I'll go out and set up my merchandise table, and I'll have the same people come up that were booing me, come up and tell me, man, I enjoyed the show. We love your character.
Everybody loves a great heel. I'll tell you.
Yeah. Playing a heel is so much fun. One promotion, when they originally took me on as a face, and I told them after a couple of shows, I said, you got to turn me, because it's when you're a face manager, you're just a cheerleader.
Yeah. But let me introduce the show. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Scene Snobs Podcast Live. I'm your host, of course, Mick Manhattan, and join with me tonight is my special guest co-host, Jesse L. Green. Thank you, Jesse, for being on the show. We've been talking.
Man.
No, I appreciate it, man. It's a great time. I always love meeting new people and getting new viewpoints, especially on our beloved entertainment industry. And you've had some good stories. I'm enjoying this.
It's I could probably. How long is this podcast?
It's about 45 minutes an hour, but please feel free.
I could probably fill up a couple shows. The problem is, after a while, I forget which ones I told you and which ones I hadn't.
Well, you're an actor in film. You're a professional wrestling entertainer. You are you're a pirate. I mean, not many of my guest co-hosts can say that. I'll tell you that. And legit pirate, which is awesome. I've seen your. I was looking at and saw your. I don't want to call it a costume. Is it? It's.
No, don't call it a costume.
No, I don't want to offend. Please don't.
It's garb.
Garbs. That's okay.
Yeah, it's garb.
I will not make the mistake again. I promise. But,
that's almost as bad for me as saying wrestling is fake.
Yeah, and I never want to say that, especially like I have friends who go to Renaissance fairs, and I've been to some. They're a really fun time.
Oh yeah.
And I don't ever want to offend by saying like it's fake or because they're living it. They're they love that lifestyle, and
Oh yeah, yeah. And it's like I said, I did it for just for Jimmy Buffett tailgating. I had no idea that, again, once I got into being a pirate, I thought I got to be one of a handful of crazy people in the United States that wants to be a pirate. And I'm like, no, Craven would have more of a grasp on that number, but it's got to be 50, 60, 70,000 people. I mean, I belong to in Florida, here in Daytona Beach, a group called the Leviathan.
Nice.
Craven Moore Grog is he's the captain of the Leviathan, and we have people all over. In fact, I just saw. I think we picked up one in a new member in France.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so there's pirate groups all over, and to different degrees. It's what I find with piracy, you don't have so many. I know people who are Civil War reenactors. Mm-hmm. They have people that are into that, and they'll get on you because the stitching isn't right in your costume for the time period. It's modern stitching. I don't find that in piracy. It's kind of what I think the reason is, with Civil War soldiers, we know what they look like.
Yeah.
With pirates, we have no idea what they really look like. We got some etchings and things, but you think about it, if you were a pirate back in the day, you probably didn't want to look a whole lot different than your regular merchant seaman. You didn't want to walk into a bar down in Port Royal, Jamaica, and they go, "Oh, that guy's a pirate."
Yeah, true. I wouldn't even think about that. But so with the groups that you're a part of, I equate it to what you're telling me. Like my brother is part of a motorcycle club, and just kind of how they convene and the things they do, working, charities, stuff like that, making appearances and those things. Like I'm equating it to that, if I'm correct. So.
Yeah, and there's people in the group that they have bands that do just pirate type music and variety show stuff, sword fights and cannon blast and and all that stuff.
How did you first discover? So you started out as Captain Mango and you were doing it for the concerts. How did you then learn of the groups and getting involved in all that? How long ago was that?
That's probably been maybe 7 years ago, and that's a pretty funny story because I've had the house down here in Daytona Beach for probably 16 years, and I came down with one of the girls that was working with me as my winch and mermaid, and we just came down to the house here in Daytona Beach, and I think I had heard about the Leviathan beforehand, but we go to a bar and just sitting there had chatting with people, and this guy comes up to me and he goes, "Are you Captain Mango?" And I was just dressed, like this. And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, I got somebody here who wants to talk to you." And here it was Craven Moore Grog, the captain of the, and it was we happened to be in a bar that the Leviathan hung out in, and I was well known enough that they recognized me who it was. And they called up the captain of the group and said, "Hey, Captain Mango's in our bar." So you have to go through a process of just showing up for a couple functions, and then you have to be flogged.
Oh boy!
Before you become a member of the Leviathan.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just customary now. You got to do it. But you're in, and that's the fun part. And so, like when you say you went to a bar, I have to ask: was it excuse my ignorance? I'm not. I'm wondering: is it like a pirate themed bar that they're hanging out in, or is it just a regular bar?
It was kind of. It was called Captain Steamers.
Nice.
And it was a pirate themed bar. And like I said, I think I knew about the Leviathan, and I may have seen that bar, that they were there. I can't remember exactly why we, of all the gin joints in the world, you had to start with this one,
Nice. Oh man, it's so interesting to me that there's this whole lifestyle out there that it's a way of life. That's amazing.
Yeah, pirates have their own festivals and everything, and there's people who do it just for fun, and then there's people that actually have an encampment there and live like pirates did back then. I'm not into that group. That's fine if they want to. I like being a modern day pirate.
That's completely fair. I think I would too.
Once I started doing bike shows, I guess I got a little spoiled because I don't know. I don't know of any, but I was kind of the only pirate to do bike shows. And of course, I had this $90,000 bike called the Blue Pearl.
Oh, nice.
And and hot girls hanging around me. I got used to the attention, so I could go to bike shows and be the center of attention because I was the only pirate. When you go to pirate festivals, you're just one of 500 other people,
Nice.
And my garb might be higher level, but it doesn't matter. You all look like pirates, and there's no judgment at all.
That's a great time. With the pirates now, is that what helped you, like kind of transition into doing movies as well? Were you asked to like be a pirate in a movie, or did you just how did you get into being an actor?
Well, I did an actress model in DC saw my pictures and wanted to do a photo shoot with me. She was big into steampunk.
Yeah.
And, so that's how I got connected with her. And then she got me in the movie. And I was in Mills vs. Zombies. My role was just to be a zombie pirate. And I guess I impressed them enough that they hooked me up for 9 other roles in the movie. Of course, they had to, I was in heavy makeup in all the other ones because you couldn't, they didn't want it to appear that the same guys, 10 people in the movie. And then it just went from there. I've never had any acting training, but I guess looking back on it, I'd already had like 10 years of acting, of being Captain Mango.
Yeah.
And so it was a good transition. And of course, in the horror movies, I'm usually I've been an okay guy in a couple movies, but most of them I'm the bad guy. And so I had years of being a pirate. I've had 5 years now working in horror movies as a bad guy. So when the wrestling gig opened up, it was just a matter of putting those two together and becoming a bad pirate.
Nice.
And I love it. In fact, I miss because I don't get between the acting and the wrestling now. I don't get a lot of chance to just be Captain Mango, and because the one thing I miss in the wrestling is and it was great the first couple shows I did for that company, where I was the Captain Mango, basically. You know, I could come out and interact with the audience and take pictures with the kids at ringside, and you know, be nice to everybody. And then, of course, once they change me, then I you know, have to do the fake handshake with them, and you know, and yell at them. And so I got a couple of things to, you know, coming up that I'm going to use as some gimmicks. I got a nice shrunken head that's going to be used for. I got a riff going with a female manager, and so somehow going to work that in, that's either her head, or that's what I did with the last female manager I ran into. And I wear a gauntlet type glove. I had a guy make it for me at one horror convention. We were sitting in a bar, and I told him, I said, I want a Freddy Krueger hand, but it's got to look like it fits in with my pirate outfit. So he designed this, and it's got jewels on it and metal and everything. And then the claws come out. They're a whole lot longer than Freddy Krueger's claws. But I told him, I said, I need it when I put my fingers together. It needs to be a pirate's hook.
Nice.
And so it could be a Freddy Krueger hand or a pirate's hook. When I got into professional wrestling, I realized I didn't need the Freddy Krueger hand anymore. So I just bolted it together. So now it stays permanent. And it's I have to watch it. I wear it around ring, but lots of times I take it off before the match starts, because I get involved with the matches, and I don't want the chance of you know, cutting somebody with it. But yeah, I've taken chairs to the back and kicks to the head, and you know, throw punches and choke, and you know.
And every one of them is just lovely, I'm sure. Like, I mean, and I mean that's like in a way of loving wrestling so much.
Oh yeah,
it's just got to be a lovely feeling.
Oh, and you know, I tell people every time I go through that curtain, it's like a 5-year-old kid running out there.
That's awesome.
You know? and it's sometimes the matches are over. They usually run 10, 12 minutes, and the match is over because I you know, I follow the match because I need to know my spots. And I'm like, man, I can't believe it. You know, I'm done for the night now, you know. Love it when I got, you know, 2-3 guys there and I can go out 2-3 times. But
yeah, that's got to be a great way to get your manager, so you can manage a whole faction. And get
I used to have a 4 or 5 guys, and we called them the Crew of Blood. Nice. But I can't give a lot away, but that's been dissolved right now. And they always put me one guy that I've worked with like from day one is called Sabal Del Mar. He's supposed to be a 317-year-old sea demon. And I've worked with him pretty much throughout the whole wrestling career so far. But they, excuse me, they always try to put me with big guys because, you know, I'm like 6'1", and I as a manager, I don't want to make the wrestlers look small. But this Voltage Wrestling, they've got me a guy. He's all I can say is he's a beast. He's a beast.
Nice.
And Outbreak Wrestling, I work with a guy that's 6'7". So, you know, most of them are pretty good size, and we just go in there and just annihilate the competition.
And you know, working as a heel too, like I said, like it can't be. It's got to be top of the world, you know.
Yeah, they say I cheat. I don't remember ever cheating. I don't. You know, I've never been caught cheating. Never been caught cheating.
So, you know, going in, I'm sorry. I'm especially sorry for the other performers. You're right now. I know it's really tough for a lot of live performers. With the coronavirus going around, kind of shutting everything down.
Yeah, because they don't, we don't in the movies we make almost nothing. Uh, do make more money doing professional wrestling, but not a whole lot more. And and a lot of these are, I hate to call them kids, but they're 24, 25, 26, and they have full-time jobs, and then they do this every night of the week if they could. And I would too. If I could get a wrestling gig every night, I'd be there every night.
It's passion, and
but then I don't physically do what they do.
Yeah, true.
But then again, I'm almost 70 years old, so I don't think I could. But in Maryland, they still look on professional wrestling as a legitimate sport, and so you have to be certified through the state athletic commission. And so I took training, and I'll be licensed as a manager, and we're not. I think technically I can touch them, but they can't touch me, because I'll be a manager, and they're the trained athlete, so I can touch them, but they can't do anything to me, unless it just happens.
Yeah. Hey, accidents happen.
Yeah, it does. You never know when somebody's going to have a chair and want to hit you on the back.
So is this growing up, is this something like, were you a wrestling fan? Were you big fan of movies, things like that growing up that led to this lifestyle? That
I've been a wrestling fan all my life, from like probably 5-6 years old. In fact, I grew up pretty poor, and I'd have to walk over to my grandfather's house to watch wrestling on a little, probably 12-inch screen on Saturday mornings. And it was, one camera and black and white. And amazing thing is, where Outbreak Wrestling, where we shoot, do a lot of our shows, is in the Hamburg Fieldhouse. Well, that happened to be where the WWE was shooting all their shows back then. So I'm actually working in the venue that I watched professional wrestling with my grandfather all those years ago.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. But no, I never. I was just talking with my friend before we came on here, and I don't. I'm not one. I don't carry a lot of regrets in life, because I figure, stuff happens when it's supposed to happen, and decisions that you made those decisions with the information you had at that time. You can't be 20 years down the road and go, oh, that was a dumb decision, even though some of them that we made, we knew whether they were dumb, but because of a girl, or we made that decision. But I wish I would have got into professional wrestling earlier, because at almost 70, my time is limited. I mean, I could be a manager until the day before I die, technically. But man, I wish I'd been able to get into it and have years and years and years of doing that.
Yeah.
But, it's don't know how to explain it. It's
something you love, and once you love it, you want more of it.
Yeah, I can't believe watching it all those years that I'm able to participate. And I'm only working on an independent level. And there's a big difference from where we're at to WWE.
Yeah.
It's like playing minor league ball or expecting to bat for the Yankees someday. It could happen, but probably not. But I think through Voltage Wrestling, I'm gonna get one of my dreams. See, one of my dreams happen with the wrestling is to actually do a show in Hagerstown, in my hometown.
Nice. Okay.
That'll be a neat feeling, walking out there
Well, I would love to know when you do that, because if you do, I would love to check it out. I love taking my son to the promotions, especially the indie promotions, because he just gets so into it. And we've been to the bigger venues, and they're fun, but it's not like going to the indie promotions.
Oh, no. Yeah, with the indie promotion, you're probably maybe 3 rows from the action at the worst. And, it's, I'm not a big college football fan, and not a professional college football fan anymore. But, I've had people tell me that they used to love going to college football games a whole lot better because the kids were out there playing the game. They weren't millionaires out there, looking for the next promo deal,
Yeah, that's for sure.
And I think it's the same way with indie wrestling. It's, those guys, it's amazing what some of them do. Some of the stuff that's going to happen, I prepare for, but, being right at the ring, there are moves that they do sometimes, and and things that happen in the ring. I don't have to fake my expression, because it's like, oh my God, and it's the locker room for professional wrestlers they're tight, because they have to take care of each other.
Yeah.
Because of it being a physical type of entertainment. They both have to know what they're doing.
That's so awesome. That's and it's good to hear that too, and keep it safe throughout and make sure everybody's making.
That's the key word that you hear is, when we have our little pep talk before the show is, just be safe. Don't worry about if you miss a move, but just be safe.
Yeah. But then, again, I love it. No, I'm really rooting for you to do it in Hagerstown, your hometown. That would be amazing. And
where are you located at?
I'm right in Winchester, Virginia.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I'm not far at all. And that would be great to see.
Well, I do. When I do EPPW, we do them in just outside of Inwood.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's real close.
Yeah, it's real close to you.
Nice.
And right before the virus hit, they started doing Saturday night shows in Inwood and Friday night shows up in Martinsburg.
Ah, that's so cool.
We're doing that's one of the tapings I'm doing on Saturday. It's for them. We're shooting it at a guy's house, no audience, and we'll just put it on YouTube. So it gives us something to do. And but when I do shows like that, it's a little tough for me because my character plays off the audience.
Mm-hmm.
If there's no audience there, it's a little tough too. But at least I'm out there.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to see, and I'll check that out too, and definitely help you promote any way I can. Again, it's been so much fun, and I've learned a lot. I would love to have you back on the show too sometime, and
anytime.
Talk some more. Because I was like, all right, we'll do some topics and we'll talk about some stuff, but now I'm just fascinated.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm talking about.
I'll have to arrange that I'm in on one of my trips to Florida so I can get this set up.
Oh, that's awesome.
I didn't realize until Sunday night that I didn't have high-speed internet at my house down there because I'm not here all the time. And so I was scrambling where to do it at. And I thought, well, at the very least, I'll go rent a hotel room somewhere.
Nice.
Set up the computer, and I brought some of my movie lights. And luckily, Craven has this whole studio here set up. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 monitors around me, and it's the only tricky part here is I see you right in front of me, and the camera's up here. So I'm sure a lot of this is going to be, me looking down here instead of right into the camera. But,
oh, same here. My camera's up there, and I'm just I'm sitting.
Yeah, I tried. Well, you got your computer that you can pretend you're looking at. Like I'm sitting here, like staring off to off in the distance. But
You know, I do have I have another live show. Next time you're in Florida, let me know. And Friday nights I do what's called the Friday Night Showcase, and that's just bring people on. It's kind of like a little talk show, like, you know, have a beer, hang out, and
Okay.
tell stories. And I'd love to have some of you and the other pirates on, and we talk, you know.
Okay.
Well, I won't trade stories because I don't have any good ones, but I will listen to your stories. That would
We
be
do that. We do that. We'll make sure. Yeah, I can set up something with a Craven. We can get 2 or 3 people in here, and we'll make sure we're in pirate garb and
that'd be awesome.
be all set up for you. But
And anybody who wants to join in on Zoom from the group, let me know, and I can always send out the invitations that way.
yeah, it gets a little confusing at times. You know, whether well, it was funny when I first started acting with IMDb. I started out as just Jesse Green. Then I realized there were quite a few Jesse Greens on IMDb, and so I had to add the L. So I'm Jesse L. Green when I'm acting, and I'm just Jesse Green now. But as an actor, I'm Jesse L. Green. I'm Captain Mango, and I'm Captain Decapitate. And I just started. I haven't actually done an episode yet. I did kind of a prelude to the character. I'm Corporal Catfish, or a guy named Shango out in Chango. He's out in man, he's going to shoot me if I get this wrong, but I think he's in Denver, and he does this way outlandish show, and I'm a character that has a computer monitor as a head.
Nice.
And I'm inside I'm speaking inside the monitor, and so I got that character coming up. But I got several movies in the work. I got that one we talked about that my character is going to be it's going to be a surprise to everybody. Everybody that worked on the film, other than a couple of people, it's going to be a surprise to them. And I got one coming up called Jack Tarmite, where I play the devil. In that story, I kind of made a deal with a guy back in the 1800s for his soul, and it wasn't a good deal. I didn't get his whole soul. So now I'm following him in modern time to get the rest of his soul.
That's awesome.
That's why I'm trying this out. I had a full beard, and I got tired of people calling me Santa Claus.
That's fair.
After I did a movie a couple of weeks ago where I had to play a homeless guy, I cut this off, and will probably dye everything black for the movie. But what I do now is I adapted that. I put a rubber band in this, and that's kind of my tribute to Lou Albano.
Oh yeah, Captain Lou.
Kind of my favorite back then. But keep looking in the on the monitor here, and I'm not sure I'm wild about this look. But
no, it's a good look, and especially for homage to Captain Lou.
Yeah, I think at the very least, what I do is because I've always been a fan of a Fu Manchu, because believe me, I went years and I couldn't grow any hair in here, so I had to grow this mustache long enough to hang down here, and then I could grow down here. And I always wanted a Fu Manchu, so I may eventually cut this out in the middle, and then I can have two things. You know, we'll see. I just got tired of being called Santa Claus. But this came in this first time trying to grow a beard. It came in snow white, and all of this facial hair has been snow white for 25 years now. And the hair stayed kind of dark. I've had that bleached out to, just kind of went gray overnight. I didn't want to. I might as well do it all at once.
That's fair. I get it. Trust me, I get it.
And like I said, I'll be 70 on January 8th. So I wasn't fooling anybody with light brown hair.
Well, what do you have going on now? You have anything you want to promote, or any social media or anything you want to promote?
Well, I'm working on a website. That'll be www.jesselgreen.com. And that's going to have pages for each one of my characters in there.
Nice.
I've got a lot of stuff on the horizon. Captain Decapitate has his own hot sauces now.
Yes.
That he'll sell at shows. He's also this first time this is going to be out there. I'll be the exclusive people to sell the boy, I forget their company's name. Oh man, they're gonna kill me. But they make silicone, or that looks like real flesh, but they make fingers that are key rings and thumbs that have the little computer things. So they're thumb drives.
That's awesome.
And ears, I figured they'd. So I'm going to be selling them at shows. I'm going to pick them up when I get back in town. Debating on having Captain Decapitate's own coffee brand. And I got 4 new designs for 8x10s, and because that's where you really can make the money in professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Is merchandise sales, and it's a little bit tougher to sell this stuff as a heel, but I like try to keep my character. I want them to boo me, and I want them to hate me, but I want them to also love me too.
Yeah.
You know, I want them to hate the character, but not necessarily hate me bad enough that, you know, I'm going to have to worry about somebody stabbing me in the back or scratching my car, or, you know, I just want them to hate me enough that they entertain them.
Yes.
You know,
that is key.
And
you, sir, are a true entertainer. I'll give you that.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I don't know. I've always had it in me, but quick story. I ran into through Facebook. I ran into what was probably my best friend through school, and we hadn't seen each other since we graduated from high school, and that was back in '69. And through Facebook, we met up like 5 years ago, and you know, it's funny. He told me how proud he was of all the things I was doing then. And he said, you know, I want you to know something. He said, you've always been Captain Mango. He said, you were just too shy to let anybody see it. And I look back on it and I think, you asked me earlier about the entertainment field, the wrestling, that's been a constant. I've never not been a wrestling fan, you know? And, but the entertainment part, I always thought I would be in the production part, behind the scenes. Never thought I'd be out there in front entertaining people. I thought I'd be, you know, support somehow.
Yeah.
So and like I said, I've never had any acting training. Where the acting comes from, I have no idea. And I wrote a movie a couple years ago. Long story short, wrote it for myself and an actress. And for whatever reason, I don't want to do a movie with her anymore. But so I've got somebody that's going to come in and fill the role, and they're kind of known, not big time, but they're kind of known in the country music field, and not a big name by any, but known in the field, and. So we're working on a deal to get her in to shoot the movie, and then the end of it'll be shot in Key West, and it'll just be a short, but it's a dark drama, and I wrote it for myself to basically see if I can act, because you know in horror movies you don't have to be a Academy Award actor to work in horror movies, you know. And you know, especially if you're the slasher, you know, I mean, I did Killer Campout, and I was the killer in that. I think I had 23, 24 kills in that movie. I didn't say a word. You don't have to, because lots of times in horror movies, if the killer says anything, it 9 times out of 10 it sounds pretty cheesy, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
And if you're a silent killer, then people don't know a whole lot about your background. So I'm anxious to get that started. That it'll be a short, and I'm hoping that it's good enough to get it into some film festivals, because I'd like to. Horror movies are fun, but you're if that's all you ever do, you're limited as to what you're going to do. And I'd like to try, now that I've got the acting bug, I'd like to try something, a drama, and see if I can, because this movie will basically be just her and I and side people. So it'll be a good try to see if I can actually act. I may get the whole thing made and never release it. Go, nope, I can't act.
Well, no, it's great that you're trying it though, and I applaud your efforts on that. That's it's a hard thing to do. A lot of filmmakers, they shoot themselves in the foot before they even try.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear that you're gonna try and get it done. And
I've always been that. I've always been that way. It's if you don't try it, you're not gonna know. And if you don't try stuff, beyond your fear, you're not ever going to get anywhere. It's when you get beyond that fear of being in front of people. And I mean, years ago, if somebody would have told me that I'd be an actor now, I'd have laughed at it. I was like, there's no way, because when you're acting behind that camera, you have to think, you don't know how many people are in that lens that are eventually going to see what you do. There could be thousands and thousands of people there. And like the Kenny Chesney thing, for somebody to tell me I'd walk out on stage in front of 25,000 people, I'd have laughed at him. I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done it years ago, but stuff just kind of progresses. I just wish it would have hurried itself along a little bit.
That's and it's an amazing story, and I love it. And I appreciate you coming on the show tonight. I had a great time. I would love to have you back sometime.
Oh, and like I said, just we'll set it up that I'm in Florida the next time, and I'll get some of my Leviathan crew here, and that'll be a wild show.
I'm looking forward to it.
That'll be a wild one,
Jesse, and I'm looking forward to seeing you up here with the promotions, wrestling, and checking that out. So
okay. Yeah, I'll make sure you get the info when EPTW starts back up, because Inwood is just like suburbs of Winchester.
That's awesome. I can't wait. And again, thank you so much for being on the show. And everybody, this has been the Scene Snobs Podcast live with my special guest coach, Jesse L. Green. Check him out, and many of his movies. Remnants is out now. You can buy the DVD. Bloody Summer Camp should be out soon, I think by the end of this year. And there's a plethora of other movies that are Wrestle Massacre. I cannot wait to check that out. That's going to be a fun one.
If you're a wrestling fan, you'll enjoy that movie, because I think every kill in that movie is caused by a wrestling hold or something that happened in wrestling. So it's a fun. I don't have a major role in that movie, but I got a role in it. So
and I can't
any of my movies, best way to check me out is on Facebook, Jesse L. Green, and I just started a page for Captain Decapitate fans. Nice. Those are the two best ways to Captain Mango. Kind of, like I said, poor guy, he doesn't get much limelight anymore. I do have a page for him, but not, I don't do a lot of stuff connected with him anymore.
Well, let's hopefully we'll get the revival of Captain Mango one day, and it'll be fun.
Yeah. Well, I just had contact from somebody in my motorcycle world, and they want to see if we can get a wrestling show set up for Ocean City Bike Week.
Nice.
Connection to, have bands and a wrestling show and all. So, maybe you'll see Captain Mango some nights and Captain Decapitate some nights.
Oh, that'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, this has been, again, the Scene Snobs Podcast Live. We join us every Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. live on the Scene Snobs YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe and like button. And always hit those notifications because we have new shows every day. So, you'll see what comes up. Tomorrow night, maybe make sure you check out 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We're Behind the Box podcast. But until then, thank you, everybody, for joining in. And you have a great night. Jesse, thank you for being here. And
thank you for having me, and thank everybody for watching. I hope you were entertained a little bit.
I know I was. Thank you, everybody. Take care.